I have another guy over here who supports Trump, right? Oh, I'm sorry, who opposes? I am talking about wrong demonstration. So what do you think about Trump? We just had a conversation with this gentleman. He wouldn't vote for Trump because A, he's a scumbag, sure. B, because he's what?
He's incompetent.
He's incompetent.
He doesn't know how to run this country. He has no idea.
You think so?
Absolutely.
So do you think Hillary is more competent?
I mean, given
competent,
yes,
or
as
Bernie
far as that
Sanders.
measure goes.
Right.
I don't think she's a good person. I don't think she'd be good for the country.
So she's mean too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then this gentleman
really
would
over Bernie. And
right. You're a Bernie fan, I'm sure. I take it.
Yeah.
Okay. And look what happened, huh?
Right.
So, such a disgrace.
I've also been watching that internet research agency. You know, the army of trolls that have persona management software.
The Russians.
That's what I'm told. But
right.
The deep state's telling me it's Russians. I'm from the internet. I'm a hacker. I know there's a group that's been doing it.
Okay, you're a hacker. It's a good profession to have.
And he's smarter than me.
Well, I don't know about
Who,
that.
Trump?
No, this guy.
But the Internet Research Agency has these trolls that use persona management software.
I think we're seeking out too much. Move to the left.
They use persona management software that lets each of these trolls operate 100 or more sock puppet accounts, fake Facebook or social media platform accounts, user accounts, on a dozen different platforms, pushing particular rhetoric. Like, we know that during the primary, there was a farm of bees that made a bunch of Facebook accounts that looked like Bernie supporters that send hateful, rapey private messages to all the female Hillary supporters they could find on Facebook.
The Russians.
I don't know.
The Russian trolls.
The internet, yeah, the research
There's a Russian troll factory in St. Petersburg, actually. There is a Russian guy. I mean, see, coming from Russia, I read like both sides, English and Russian. So there's actually a factory set up over there. A girl sort of defected. You know, it's not easy to quit. You sort of defect from this kind of job. Yeah. And she was telling these horror stories as to what the Russians were doing. But essentially, what we're learning now, the purpose of the Russians was not, because it's impossible to flip elections one way or another. They were trying to sow the discord in this country. You know, left against right.
Finding alt-right and racist web pages and making it look like they have a larger user base than they have, and making people feel like, those that do feel that way, feel like there's an actual massive popular opinion behind them when there isn't.
So in other words, that proves the point. There is no so-called collusion between Trump and
well, the collusion's another matter. The Russians have been using the internet trolls to shape opinion. Flynn seemed to know about Guccifer. So Guccifer is a special agent as far as the trolls go.
This Romanian guy?
Yeah.
It's all going to be edited.
I'm all right. But Guccifer...
I'll give you my card. Don't go far away. Let me give you my card. You can see for yourself.
So I can watch.
Yeah, we can watch, of course. On that. It's right here.
You.
You can Google me. But the first name, if you Google Vladimir...
Are you in the
I'll take one too.
Trump cabinet?
No, I'm not from cabinet. I'm doing my own thing.
I will give you more. Close your bag. Don't lose anything.
Right, what happened?
My father was from Russia.
My theory is...
Yeah, excuse me.
With that army of trolls operating all kinds of sock puppet accounts that look legitimate, and with a human, so anytime the machine encounters a Turing test, kicks it to the human user who can solve it, like a reCAPTCHA, that kind of thing.
To me, it's like, you know, I'm not in the hacker field.
So you got that element over here. You've got Sputnik and RT and such, which to Putin are kind of like Fox News to what's his name? He has some influence over the narrative. They hired all the Ron Paul people. They hired Assange. They hired the hackers. They wanted to make sure that they were on.
So in other words, as a hacker, I mean, as a professional, if you can call that a professional.
Well, I don't touch money. But yeah,
you can say that it's doable. What the Russians did is doable.
Oh yeah. Well,
so this Guccifer is stealing just this morning, actually, New York Post.
Yeah.
There is a big article, like point by point, as to how it was done, chronologically.
Yeah.
I was reading it, you know, this morning. I haven't finished it. Yeah, watch it. Read it.
My theory is that Guccifer hacked the DNC servers, took the files that Putin wanted Assange to leak, edited them, convinced after Hillary won the primaries, used Facebook to find Seth Rich, who was the one Facebook user, public, worked for the DNC, openly supported Bernie. Guccifer reached out to him, made friends, convinced him to steal documents from Julian. Rich stole the documents. Guccifer took the documents that he had stolen and swapped them in transit to Julian Assange. So Assange thought he was getting the Seth Rich packet, but he was getting the packet that Putin
Isn't
sent.
this Assange kind of interesting character? When you stop and think about it, whatever he does, whatever sort of secrets he reveals, why, if he has access allegedly to a lot of data, why does he always chooses to reveal the information that hurts the United States and never hurts Russia? Never.
It's an interesting thing,
right?
sure.
I mean,
and RT hired him.
Think about it.
I don't believe he started out as a Russian agent.
But whatever he is, he's definitely leaning, to say the least, towards hurting the United States versus the countries
I
that.
think his inclination is to resist the war machines, and particularly the information war machines. And then I think Putin saw the opportunity to use him as a useful idiot. That's my theory. But
Whatever it is, but he's on his side,
I
but
agree.
he's definitely on our
becoming
side.
more and more pro-Russia.
Oh my God.
by the day,
Will
which
she
is
ever
troubling
shut
me,
up?
Because I've been a fan and advocate, a defender of Assange for a long while.
You were, not
Yeah.
anymore. I'm not
I
so
still
much.
like the concept of WikiLeaks, but of course, every organization. I mean, the CIA catfished engineers and did all kinds of crap to wreck that organization. Because Julian's dead man switch was the full docs from Bank of America. It was this encrypted file he sent out, and he said, if the CIA murders me, I'll drop the encryption key. CIA infiltrated the servers and got the encryption key deleted by getting a love triangle going between a couple engineers. That's my understanding.
Well, again, you're using terminology that is kind of, for me.
So I think Guccifer, after he leaked Assange those files, I think Putin killed Seth Rich. Had RT and Sputnik fan
Putin
claims.
killed Seth Rich.
We know Putin's a murderer. Everyone thinks Hillary's a murderer, but that's been fanned by the GOP for so long that I don't know how much is true.
Okay.
And I'm no fan of Hillary. But I think Putin murdered Seth Rich. I think the FBI may know, but can't say that because that would be an act of war. I think RT and Sputnik started sharing stories about maybe Hillary killed Seth Rich. I think the army of sock puppet accounts started sharing and retweeting that to target audiences. And then Julian Assange dropped the docs that Putin had got to his hands. And then Comey reopened the investigation.
So what brought you here to this, on a different subject a little bit, what brought you over here to this, demonstration?
Well, I'm a traveling hippie, and found my way into Harlem yesterday and thought, why the fuck not? I was at the DNC, I was at the RNC, I was at Standing Rock, I was at the inauguration.
So it's just
This is
whatever.
all back to me, yeah. I was hoping to see some friends out here, actually.
Oh, I see. You mean fellow hippies or fellow hackers?
There's some of each. I got a variety of different networks, maybe some water protectors, maybe some Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ.
What about Blue Lives Matter?
What's that?
Do you have friends among the Blue Lives Matter crowd?
I got a few. I don't unfriend people on Facebook, but I'm not sympathetic to that movement at all.
You're not sympathetic to what? Black Lives Matter
to
movement?
the Blue Lives Matter.
Blue Lives. Well, why
know,
so?
like-
Look at these guys. They're protecting us, no?
They're human beings, and I respect and honor every
but they-
human.
but
and
they are more than that.
I've thrown my last punch.
Yeah, but they're on the front line, literally protecting us. I'm
Well,
saying
here they are, right? Like right now, the white national groups have pushed out this narrative that this is the start of a war, which has been paired with the refuse fascism narrative that this is the start of the revolution. And we've seen the media cueing people to run over protesters. So the police have, it looks to me like they've adopted a policy that makes sure that no cars can run through the crowd, which is great. Like, I don't want to get run over.
Right.
But here they're also not worried that we're going to be the ones throwing bricks or anything. Like they're on a protection mission. At Standing Rock, it was a different game. Mind you, at Standing Rock, we were up against National Guard, Mercs, and a whole bunch of sheriffs from across the Midwest that have been deputized.
How can you make a living as a hacker?